Welcome then to my second podcast episode of Silver Smart with AI, this beginner friendly show where we start to explore artificial intelligence in a simple and practical way. Silver Smart AI is about how my mature real life perspective can help cut through the hype and confusion around using AI. So if you've been curious about AI but have felt overwhelmed by jargon, rapid changes, or the tech talk, you're in the right place. And together, we're going to start building a clear foundation and explore useful AI tools that you can actually apply in everyday life, whether it's productivity, creativity, learning, or simplifying tasks. No pressure, no complicated terms, just a bit of a conversation with easy explanations and lessons that you can put to work straight away. Okay, in today's podcast, we're going to use another tool, which is Google Gemini. Now, let's say if you have a week off and you want a trip that feels exciting but not exhausting. You want good hotels, you want easy transportation and time to actually enjoy the place rather than sprint through it. Now, imagine if you can have a really calm, patient helper who can draft your whole trip plan in minutes, and then you can adjust it when you say things like, there's too much walking, or I want some more museums and fewer late nights, please, or I need at least one rest afternoon. Now, that helper traditionally used to be a travel agent, but now it can be an AI assistant. So today we're going to use Google Gemini to build a detailed 7-day travel itinerary, step by step, in a way that is friendly for beginners, especially the over 50 crowd like you and I who want to try AI without feeling overwhelmed. Now, by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what to type into Gemini, what to ask next, and how to turn the results into a plan that you can actually use. Okay, so let's get on to it then. So before we jump into prompts and itineraries, let's make this really simple. Google Gemini can help with travel planning because it can suggest destinations based on your preferences. It can build day-to-day schedules. It can balance activity with the rest. It can offer options for different budgets, and it can even provide packing lists and reminders. And finally, it can also create plan Bs for bad weather or for days when you're not feeling so good. And the beauty of it is you can adjust the plan instantly when you change your mind or want something different. Now, the best part of it is you don't need to be a techie, and if you can type a sentence and click send, you can certainly do this. So think of Gemini like a very fast assistant who drafts ideas, but you're still the boss and you choose what fits and what goes where. So let's begin then by looking at the quick setup of Gemini itself. So I'm going to open up Gemini. So I'm going to share my screen. And so this is just a normal web screen. So if you type Google, you come to this. And what you want is AI mode at the end here. So you click on AI mode, and then we go straight into Google Gemini. And it'll tell you a bit about Gemini, but the bit that we're really interested in is the chatbot down here. So depending on your device, you might access it through a browser like I've done, and or through an app as well. Now, you will probably need to sign in to a Google account if you need to, and then you need to treat the chatbot here like you're texting a helpful person. You don't need any special language, and you just need clear preferences. But if you're worried about messing up, the good news is there is no messing up. You can always say, try again, or make it simpler, or do something different. Now, the secret when you're using an AI tool like Google Gemini is the better the prompt, the better your itinerary is going to be. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you one master prompt that you can copy and paste, and then you can fill in all the blanks. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen. We're going to go back, and I'm going to share my screen again. And this time I'm going to look at the prompt itself. So the prompt we're going to use is act as an experienced travel planner for travelers over 50. Plan a 7-day itinerary for a trip to, doesn't matter where it is, and my travel dates are such and such to such and such. I am departing from my home city, wherever you live, and then my budget is, so think about the type of budget that you may want to use, and then my pace preferences are either relaxed, moderate, or active. And then also, I prefer activities like museums, food, nature, music, history, beach, shopping, etc. And you can add whatever more activities you want in there. Please include daily morning, afternoon, and evening suggestions, plus time for rest. Also include transportation tips, estimated travel times between major stops, and 2 restaurant suggestions per day. Also, include accessibility considerations, options for minimal walking, and backup indoor activities for if it rains. And then end with a summary of the best neighborhoods for me to stay in and 3 hotel options in different price ranges. Okay, so that prompt alone can actually produce a surprisingly good first draft. But we're not done yet because the magic is in refining it. So for this particular episode, I'm going to demonstrate with an example destination so you can hear what and see what it sounds like. So let's choose something popular and easy for first-time planning and very friendly for travelers over 50. So in a week, I suppose London would be a great example, because there's a mix of history, museums, theatre, and easy transport. So in the prompts that we're going to put in to Gemini, act as an experienced travel planner for travellers over 50. Plan a detailed 7-day itinerary for London, moderate pace with rest time every day. Focus on history, museums, gardens, and great food. Include travel time, minimal walking options, and rainy day backups. So now I will walk you through the kind of itinerary that you are aiming for. This is a model, as I said before, that you can reuse this for any city. But what I am going to do, I'm going to refine this even more. And I'm going to open my prompting tool that I mentioned in the first episode called Prompt Engine. And I'm going to get it rewritten and rewrite the prompt for effectiveness and more specificity. So I'm going to take my prompt and copy it, and then I'm going to move over to Prompt Engine. As I said, I mentioned this before, and I'm going to put the prompt into the task box. And what Prompt Engine's done, it's going to refine it so that I can then put it into Google Gemini. And as you can see, I'm not going to read all through this, but what it's done is refined the prompt, because it's put things in like visit the British Museum, minimal walking required. It's put explore the National Gallery if it rains. So Prompt Engine, what it does, it will take a basic prompt and it will refine it. Okay. So that's all done now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go back over to Google Gemini in the AI mode, and then down in the chatbot here, I'm going to paste my prompt and hit the send button. And so here we go. So the 7-day London itinerary is designed for a relaxed pace, prioritizing accessible and minimal walking for the traveller over 50, with the budget of £1,000 to £2,000. This plan includes high-quality cultural experiences, accessible transit, and comfortable accommodation. Now, I said that I lived in Edinburgh, so this is me taking the train from Edinburgh to King's Cross. And within London, it gives me the choice of whether to take a bus, a black cab, or the Thames Clipper. And then I've got my 7-day itinerary. So arrive at King's Cross, I take a short taxi to my hotel in Bloomsbury, for rest and settle in. In the afternoon, I go to the British Museum and I focus on the Great Court and Egyptian galleries. In the evening, it gives me dinner at Balthazar in nearby Covent Garden, which I didn't even know existed. And as a backup, I could explore the galleries of the British Museum. Day 2, I'm going to Buckingham Palace. I'm going for tea at the Ritz and dinner at the Wolseley, an historic Grand Cafe. Day 3, the V&A Museum. Use the quiet sessions and explore the jewellery. Afternoon, a relaxed lunch at the V&A's Gamble Room. Then I'm going to Kensington Gardens. And then as a backup, I've got the Natural History Museum, and there's a classical concert that I can go and watch at the Royal Albert Hall. Day 4, I'm going on a river cruise, and then I'm going to visit the Maritime Museum and go to the Cutty Sark pub, which I've been to, and it's brilliant. Day 5, I'm going to St Paul's Cathedral, Tower Bridge, Borough Market, and as a backup, I've got London Docklands. Day 6, the Botanical Gardens, and day 7, to finish off, I'm going to the West End and I'm going to see a matinee theatre performance, The Lion King at the Lyceum, and then I'm going for dinner at Chinatown. I mean, you must admit, what a brilliant 7-day itinerary that it's planned for here. And then the accommodation strategy, you've got Bloomsbury or South Ken, and then you've got hotel options of budget, mid-range, luxury, staying at the Savoy. It's even got a plan for you, a map that you could print off and take with and mark it out. And it will also try and find the best seats for you. So you can also revise this itinerary. So if you wanted to say less walking or more seated activity, you would just put that in the text box. Please rerun and find me more seated activities or more time in each place. Or you could even map into it one free afternoon for rest, or swap in 2 music or theatre experiences, etc., or make other restaurant suggestions, etc. So how you use the back and forth is just like if you were texting your assistant to try and get you the best trip that you could. So you can go back and forth using the AI, and you're not accepting a plan. What you're doing, you're shaping the plan. And this is what really matters. This is the AI as a planner. It's not an official source. So you also need to do 3 quick things, 3 quick safety checks to make sure that your trip can run even smoother. So you need to confirm the opening hours for the attractions that you're going through. You could confirm the transportation details, such as train times or any transit tool. And you can confirm any accessibility needs, which will include elevators, ramps, or amenable stairs. Another very helpful Gemini prompt is list the top 5 details I should verify on official websites for this itinerary. So it will come back with a checklist of which you can then follow of the high value tips that you will get. There's plenty of other things that you could do as well to use Gemini for here. You could things like ask for slower pacing or rest blocks within your daily activity. You could ask for hotel neighborhoods based on quiet and safety and transit access. Quite important in London. Particularly if you don't know the city. You could ask for bathroom breaks and seated stops if that matters to you as well. And you can ask for 2 versions of each day, one active and one relaxed. And also based on your itinerary, what you could also ask it for is a packing list based on the expected weather and the activities that you're going to be doing. And finally, what you can do is you can also ask it for a printable summary that you can keep either on your phone or print out. And one of my favorite prompts is create a 1-page summary of this itinerary that is easy to read on a phone and with bullet points only. So you get it on a 1-page and it makes it much easier to read. So let me go back then. So if we were to bring in a travel expert, they would likely say something like, the best trips are not the ones where you see the most, but they're the ones that you enjoy the most. And that's why with AI planning, it can really help. It can reduce that decision fatigue that you sometimes get when you're trying to plan, particularly something like a week, and particularly in a place that you're not really sure about and don't know a lot about. So instead of spending hours reading 10 different blogs, you can begin with a real structured plan, and then you can customize it based on your energy, your interests, and your comfort. AI does not need to replace your instincts. It's there to support them. Okay, so what about some common questions that you might ask if you're not particularly used to using AI or Google Gemini? So first one then is, do I need to be good with technology to use Google Gemini? Well, I think you've seen from that really simple example, no, you don't at all. If you can type what you want in plain language, then you can certainly do it and certainly use it as it should be. Question 2, what if Gemini suggests something unrealistic? And that will happen, but you don't use it as that's it, a conclusive. You use it as a draft. And then what you can do, you can go back into it and verify key details and ask for revisions. Another question would be, can I use it for a road trip and not just a city? Yes, you can. You can ask it for driving times between places, scenic stops, shorter driving segments, etc. Another question, can Gemini help me plan for mobility limitations? Yes, of course, you could be direct. Say you want minimal stairs, say you want short walking distances, and say you want accessibility first. Another question, how do I stop the itinerary from being too packed? Therefore, you'd ask for a relaxed pace version of what you've just got and specify no more than 2 major activities or 1 per day. And then final one, probably, can it help me with my budget? Yes, it can. You can ask for a per day estimate that would include meals, attraction, tickets, and transportation. So here's a little fun challenge for you. After you've watched this episode, what I'd like you to do is go back to Gemini, and I want you to type in 1 sentence, and that's plan a relaxed 7-day trip for a traveler over 50 to your dream destination with the rest time every day. Then I want you to follow that up with, now revise it for less walking and include quiet restaurants, and see what you get. There's 2 prompts there, and in minutes, you'll have a real itinerary that you can use. Okay, planning then, particularly planning travel, used to feel like a lot of homework. And now all it has to do is feel just like a conversation. Google Gemini is not here to judge you, to rush you, or to overwhelm you. It is there to help you draft and adjust and organize your ideas so your next trip feels smooth, realistic, and enjoyable. So if you try this, I want you to notice something. You are not learning AI. You are simply practicing asking better questions of AI. And that skill of asking good questions then makes everything much easier when you use an AI tool. Okay, everyone, thanks for listening. If you like what you see and hear, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.